Hi guys, welcome to another video. Hope you're all keeping well. Now for this video, I like to do two reviews of two horror movies which I purchased in Asda and Birkenhead over the weekend. One's an American movie and one's a British movie. So you've got the British movie, The Ship of the Damned, and you've got the American one, which is called The Bellkeeper. Okay then guys, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to start with the Bellkeeper. Now, as per usual, I'll just, if you're not familiar with the movie, I'll just read you the synopsis on the back of this DVD, and then I will go on to express my full thoughts on the movie as a whole. Okay, so yes, I'm going to start with the Bellkeeper. A group of friends travel to a secluded campsite to film a documentary, but what they find is something much more sinister than they could ever have imagined. So there you go, guys. That's the brief synopsis for the 2022 American supernatural horror movie, The Bellkeeper. All right then, guys. I'm going to give you my thoughts now on this movie before I go on to the Ship of the Damned. Yeah. So what did I think of it? Not much really. Yeah. Its main problem, guys, it was had once again a bunch of stupid teenagers and that, ruining the movie, acting stupid and that, and characters what you could not root for at all, basically cannon fodder for the monster or the killer or the creature or what have you. So, but I must admit, it does start off promising enough, because like it opens up on like this scene, like, and it's like a house in the middle of the woods, and you've got this like deranged madman with a beard and a baldy head, and he's got this girl tied to a chair, and it's either a boyfriend or a husband has just escaped from the house and he's running outside, but the Axwell maniac catches up with him and dispatches him, quite bloodily. Then he goes back into the house and the girl's screaming there, the usual and that, terrified and that, but he has no mercy. He just ups with the axe and just decapitates her. So that it does start with a bang, but then it just goes downhill and downhill and downhill once the stupid teenagers come onto the scene. Yeah, so it's got all the usual tropes, guys, of the usual tropes that I don't like in modern horror movies, as I say, stupid teenagers and that, not really scared when the horror does start to kick in, and too much, putting too much comedy in here in regard to the teenagers. So yeah, I did not root for any of the characters at all, but basically they go in the paranormal group, like researching like urban legends and that, and mysterious disappearances and things like that. And they go to this particular location deep in the middle of the woods, in the middle of nowhere, where this house is that we saw at the beginning, that investigates this urban legend called the Bellkeeper. It's I've seen it all before, guys. It's very, very unenjoyable movie. Yeah, so they go into the woods and that, and he starts the customary gas station and that, and the proprietor, whoever's behind the counter, don't go up there, the usual thing and that. But what did you do to go up there? And I've got a very, very weird woman as well in this, guys. I wouldn't like to meet her on a dark street late at night. Oh yeah, real witchy looking woman. And she starts saying like, don't go up there and that, and she starts coming out with all this talk about like curses and demons and that. Oh, one of the most ugliest characters I've ever seen in a horror movie. And there's the main protagonist, guys, the two girls out the bunch and that, the bunch of investigators. Mind you, that looks like a girl. It's actually one of the guys. Yeah, sometimes you can't tell a bloody difference now, can you? And that's the Axwell maniac who we see at the beginning, but he starts off again like ridiculous with him. His character, he starts off like really, you think who's going to be a real mad killer, but as the movie goes on, he seems to soften a little bit, and he starts giving advice to these young filmmakers and that, and yeah, I thought it was a jumbled mess, guys. I didn't like it. One or two ridiculous scenes uppermost in my mind is where the guy there with the axe, he gets into a conversation with this fella who I thought was stuck for a girl, and he says like, they got onto the subject of virgins. He said that the fella says, the man says, "Are you a virgin?" And the boy looks at him and he said, "Do I look like a virgin?" I mean, just as if you could tell if anybody's a virgin just by bloody looking at them. Oh,
What
I don't know where to get
a
this
bloody
script right,
plonker.
guys, but you know, this is, oh yeah, I don't think I'll be watching this again, guys. I did not like it at all. I'm surprised actually I stayed awake right till the end, unlike the one I'm going to talk about in a minute. Yeah, say no more about that till I get to it. Yeah, but yeah, I did not like The Bellkeeper. You know, I thought it was in for a good, real urban legend horror story, but what I got was basically a load of tripe. You know, so I'm getting a bit fed up. Well, I'm hugely fed up with these American horror movies populating with their, well, of course it's cheap, isn't it? They can't get the top actors and that, so they get cheap actors for cheap stories and that, you know, and they offer overall a cheap experience on the whole, you know. But I picked these two up, and as I was downtown in Birkenhead on Saturday, and I didn't go out to Liverpool this week because I thought it'd be packed with, you know, Taylor Swift and that, you know, so I stayed in Birkenhead, popped into ads and I seen this, and I was like, $5 each, I'll give them a go. But yeah, The Bellkeeper, to start off with, guys, not my kind of movie at all, you know. And I say the proof of the pudding again. You know, it's a case of the proof of the pudding. It's in the easting and that, you know. And but this again, this is another example of the cover. You know, the film not doing justice to the aesthetics. The film not doing justice to the aesthetics of the cover. So, but yeah, it was just a load of nonsense, guys. And what happened was when one of the girls actually rings the bell, despite all the warnings against, you know, she sort of like activates the bell. And what happens is they all start bleeding out of it. It's got this like weird spell, this weird omnipotent spell, you know, and the minute anybody rings the bell, this antiquated bell, you know, things starts happening. So all blood starts oozing from their ears and that, and it turns into these kind of like, you know, Evil Dead, like zombie-like creatures. Their eyes go like all demonic and that, you know, and they start attacking each other. But there wasn't much in it, guys. It didn't scare me at all. You know, I've seen scary things on a Saturday morning's TV show, to be honest. Yeah, so I was usually disappointed with The Bellkeeper. A very, very poor story, a very, very poor cast, and a very, very poor experience overall. Yeah, so I won't be revisiting this again. It's either going to go on eBay or it's going to go to a charity shop, because I did not like it. Yeah, as I say, you know, putting too many of these, the Americans have got a terrible habit putting all these teenagers in and that, larking around and that, they're not really serious and that, you know, that dilutes the horror for me. I mean, some people might like a lot of teenagers in the horror movies, but I don't. Only if it's a really, really good story. I mean, I don't mind Friday the 13th. There's quite a few teenagers in those movies, but the good stories, and Jason's such a, you know, he's such an engrossing character, you know. But the character in this Axeman, you know, he was not engrossing at all, you know, and I thought it was a bit stupid, like, you know, stupid weak story about this bell having this like omnipotent power. Yeah, so yeah, I didn't like it, guys. Okay then, guys, on to a rating now. Yeah, I'm not going to give it anything, guys. I'm just going to give us a big fat a big fat 0 out of 10, because that's how much I did not like The Bellkeeper. Yeah, so, but I'm not putting you off. I always say it. If you want to get it, check it out yourselves. It's in Asda for a £5. You might even get it cheaper online. So there you go, guys. That concludes my review of The Bellkeeper. Okay, now we're going to go on to The Ship of the Damned now. If I thought that one was bad, I thought this was even worse. I actually did fall asleep, guys, near the end of this. It was really bad, this one. I'm going to read you the synopsis anyway, just to give you an idea, and I'll talk briefly about it. An intriguing story? Well, I don't think so. Right. After an abandoned 400-year-old pirate ship appears off the coast of a small town, maritime historian Eleanor and the local Coast Guard are sent to investigate its origins. They soon discover it is anything but abandoned, and the ship's cursed private crew have horrific plans for the intruders. Not all that horrific to me. So there you go, guys. That's a synopsis for the Ship of the Damned from 2024, directed by Steve Lawson, and stars Ben Manning and Jacob Anderson. Yeah, usually disappointed with this, guys. Really, really boring story, and oh yeah, very, very dark picture. Half the time I couldn't see what the bloody hell was going on. Yeah, so say you've got this girl, like she comes to investigate this ship, you know, so it's supposed to be many centuries old. But as she says herself, well, if it's supposed to be many centuries old, why hasn't it disintegrated and that over time and that, you know, but it's still intact and it's floating like just off the coast and that. So she goes along, she's summoned along to investigate it, and that she goes aboard and that. Well, of course, I won't go into too much detail, guys, but she finds that they don't even seem like ghostly pirates, they just seem like pirates, like from a bloody run away from a fancy dress party, something like that, you know. So it again, just like the Bellkeeper, it started off promising enough. Where goes onto the ship, and I think it's the 1700s, and we're showing the pirates on the ship, and then they drag this woman, and she looks as if she's cursed, possessed, and that, you know, and they sort of like get her down, hold her down, and she's writhing and that, you know, and struggling as possessed people do, and they all stab her to death on the ship. So this starts with a bang, but again, just like that one, it goes downhill and downhill and really, really downhill. It was bloody boring. It's one of the most boring horror movies I have ever seen in my whole life. Don't be fooled by that, guys. You know, yeah, it just goes on the ship and that, and it goes very, very slow. There's a lot of talk in it. The pirates aren't frightening, you know, and I fell asleep, guys. You know, near the end, I couldn't take any more. You know, the Ship of the Damned, yeah. So, but again, as I just said, that's just my opinion. You know, if you like these kind of movies, you might derive some enjoyment from them. But I didn't like them, guys. They were two very, very poor purchases on Saturday from Asda, The Bellkeeper and Ship of the Damned. Yeah, this was even worse than that one. I mean, that was bad enough. This one was even worse again, you know. So again, rating-wise, a big, fat, bloody raspberry for this one. 0 out of 10. I think this is the first on this channel, isn't it? A double zeros out of 10 for two horror movies. Well, you know me, guys. I don't pull any punches. If I don't like a bloody horror movie, I will bloody well say so. Yeah, but that's just my opinion. Yeah. Okay, then, guys, that's it. So I hope you enjoyed this double movie review of The Bellkeeper and Ship of the Damned. Have you seen either of these movies or both of them? Do you agree with me? Do you share my thoughts, or did you like them? Leave your comments down below. I'd be very interested to hear what your thoughts of them. But yeah, guys, you know, two bum purchases, yeah. So I definitely won't be revisiting these. You know, that was that was particularly abysmal. Oh bloody hell! This if I ever do another top 10 most boring modern horror movies, I think this will rank quite highly. Ship of the Damned, yeah. Yeah. Okay then, guys, that's it. Usual, if you like the video, please feel free to share, subscribe, comments, and all going well, I shall be back again very, very soon with another video. Take care. Bye for now.